Okay, right now I'm in Cetinje, which was founded in 1482 by Ivan Kronovich. Basically, he was the ruler of the Zeta state. Unfortunately, they had a capital near to the Skanderberg Lake, the lake that is shared between Albania and Montenegro. And what happened is that the Ottomans came, and basically he had to give them the capital in that point. And he came here and they built this as a capital. Okay, and this building here used to be a parliament, and it was built in 1910. And right now it's the home of the art gallery of Montenegro and the history museum of Montenegro. Regarding the art, basically it's the home of all the major paintings done by the major artists here in Montenegro. And the history museum basically tells the history from Stone Age to today. And one fact that is quite important here is that it's one of the museums that actually have the less biased information regarding the breakup of Montenegro with Yugoslavia, including the attack or bombarding of Dubrovnik by Montenegro, and also the war crimes in Bosnia. So it's a very interesting museum, so it's worth visiting. And this building, constructed in Art Nouveau style, used to be the French embassy. Nowadays, it just stores or is home of some very important documents and books, part of the National Library of Montenegro. It is interesting to consider that for this building, the blueprints was thought that the blueprints was for the French embassy in Cairo, and not here in Montenegro, and it was like a mix between with the zip codes or the postal codes. But no, in reality, it was always meant to be the Montenegrin embassy, or the embassy, the French embassy in Montenegro, let's say. Very nice building. Okay, and this is the Fair of Lubsen. Was built in 1939 to commemorate the death of 350 American Montenegrins that died when the ship sank close to Albania. The reason that they were in this ship is because during the First World War, Montenegro called to all the expatriates to come back and defend Montenegro. So they were in this ship, American Montenegrins that came, and unfortunately the ship sank and 350 people died. The statue is made out of bronze, and yeah, it's a very interesting thing. Probably the exact date was this one in 1915 when the ship sank. So, and behind that monument, there is the Black Church, which is this one. It was built in 1450. That means that it was built before Cetinje was founded. And yeah, it's a long time ago, despite that the style looks more like the 19th century church. And precisely at the end of the 19th century, the end of the war with the Ottoman Empire, they took 1,544 barrels from the guns or the rifles of the Ottoman Empire soldiers, and they built the fence here in the church that we were looking at. You can even see here the little things to aim in the barrels. So all the fence is built with those barrels. These rocks that are basically in the entrance of the little church or chapel, they are actually tombstones that they are carved, and they are from the 14th century. They are good examples. This one and this one, they are good examples of basically the tombstones that were used in the north of Montenegro here and in Bosnia. So this one is called Black Church precisely because of the black people, that basically they were reminiscence of Romans, probably Latin Romans or Illyrian Romans, and basically they are you can find them in all the Balkans, and they retreat to the hardest places to find in the Balkans, and they are basically nomads, and they move with the stations. You know, like if it's spring, if it's winter, they move through different areas. So these are the remains of them. This is one of the places and that they used to occupy before, and you can see how is this graveyard with different kind of tombs around here, and the trees and everything. Okay, so on this building that it's a little bit bigger than the rest is the Miodrag Dado Duric gallery, and basically it's like a branch of the Montenegrin art gallery. You can see it has it's a little bit bigger, and basically commemorates the artist for with the same name, Miodrag, that died in 2010. Basically, it has all the art from like contemporary art from Montenegro. So I will try to come back later when it's open, and most likely you will see something in the POV, in the point of view video. Okay, so the gallery basically is in a corner in the Negoshiba street, and it's the main street here, and you can see there are many stands, and there are coffee places and restaurants, and it ends into parks and in the Blue Palace, which is very popular. We will talk about that in a minute. But yeah, basically this is the main street, and of course it's a pedestrian street mostly. Okay, and this is the Cetinje monastery. Basically this was attacked 4 times by the Ottomans, and it was destroyed 4 times and rebuilt 4 times. This incarnation of the monastery is from the 1786, and the only thing that remains from the previous monastery, or the first building, it's from 1444, and those are the columns that you can see there. Okay, you cannot record there. Many people do it, but I don't want to record. So I just want to show you here. I don't know if you see it in that tip. There is a chapel there. And in the chapel, they have the most precious treasure that they have, which is a piece of the cross of Christ, which, to be honest, many people claim, many churches claim that they have a piece. So maybe it is, maybe it's not. And also they have the mummified arm of St. John the Baptist. So they keep it there, and it's it's one of its most precious treasures. Okay, St. John the Baptist's arm, it has a very interesting story. Basically, it has gone from the Byzantine Empire to the Ottomans, to the Russians, to the Serbians, and they don't display it very like usually. Sometimes just to venerate it, but yeah, it has arrived here. Ultimately, it's here. Okay, also here behind the columns from the first incarnation of the monastery, there is also the treasure of the monastery, and it has jewelry, it has crowns from kings from here, it has a lot of things, but I'm not going to enter because you pay €2 to enter, but only if you are part of a group. So there is no group, but yeah, maybe in another time I will try to enter.